You know, I've lived in Lacrosse all my life, and this is the first time I've seen anything like this happen.
Hey, gang! Welcome to another PATE&PLACE. So glad you tuned in for another Elvis episode. So today, gang, we're going all the way back to May 14th, 1956, on the second day of an 8-day run for Elvis. It's a crazy concert and a threat of national security. So guys, let's dig in. Okay, gang, we're going all the way back to May 14th, 1956, where Elvis and the boys will be playing at the Mary E. Sawyer Auditorium in Lacrosse, Wisconsin. This will be the second stop of an 8-day run that begins on the 13th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The following night, Elvis and the guys played the Memphis Ellis Auditorium. The previous 2 weeks have been spent in Las Vegas, where Elvis and the boys played to a much older and less enthusiastic crowd. But here in Lacrosse was a whole nother story. The Lacrosse Tribune reported that before the show even started, the teenagers beat on doors and windows and screamed at police just to get a look at the squirming, stomping Elvis. A few tried building a human ladder, stacking up on each other's shoulders to beat on a second-floor auditorium windows almost 10 feet off the ground, and Elvis admittedly was a little frightened. The full house yelled like wild banshees at the floor acts that preceded Elvis. Elvis himself was pacing nervously near the entrance of the dressing room. When Presley appeared on stage, immediately the soft-spoken kid with a nervous laugh disappeared and Elvis turned into a purple-coated musical demon who belted out songs like his young life depended on it. Elvis and the boys performed 2 shows that night at 7 and 9:30 p.m. with over 5,000 in attendance at both shows. The newspaper reported the king walked onto stage and bedlam broke loose. At the first tap of Presley's leg, the auditorium almost exploded. On the floor of the building, listeners couldn't stand still every time Presley opened his mouth or dragged his foot across the stage. 5 Lacrosse City policemen, 12 military policemen were barely enough to hold back the swarm of teenagers that pursued Elvis but was managed to be stopped just outside his dressing room. Between shows, Elvis sits down for an interview with WKBH radio DJ Lindy Shannon.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the Stars dressing room of the Mary E. Sawyer Auditorium. And what a fabulous night this has been. We're very happy to have with us here Mr. Elvis Presley. How are you, Elvis?
Fine, sir. How are you?
Terrific. You know, I've lived in Lacrosse all my life, and this is the first time I've seen anything like this happen.
Well, it's good. It's the first time I've been on this part of the country.
Where do you hail from, Elvis?
I'm from, well, I was born in Mississippi, but I live in Memphis, Tennessee.
I see. And this is a very controversial question. How old are you? They say 18, 19, 20, 21. Give us the official date now.
I'm 21.
21. Mm-hmm. Another thing I want to ask you, I've been reading up on your career. You've been in the business for about 2 years now. And what was the first song that you ever sang to an audience? Could that have been the Red Foley thing of Old Chef?
Old Chef, that's right. Well, that was when I was about 7 or 8 years old when I sang that song.
I see. And the gentleman who accompanied you tonight, that was Scotty and Bill?
Scotty and Bill and DJ Fontana.
On the drums, then?
Yes.
And they've been with you ever since you started your fabulous...
Scotty and Bill have the drummer has been with me for about 2-3 months.
I see. The first record you ever cut for the Sun label was the Blue Moon of Kentucky, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm. And I understand it had a real great response down there when it was first played by the DJs.
Well, it did okay, but it kind of surprised me. I thought they would laugh me out of town.
I noticed there was a very heavy echo effect in that, more than some of the others.
Yes, it was a lot of echo.
Mm-hmm. The people around town here thought that the first recording you ever made was I Forgot to Remember to Forget, because that was the first one.
Well, that was the 5th one.
I see. But the first one released on the Victor label.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Well, you certainly are without a doubt the #1 selling artist in the nation now. You have the #1 record and the top selling album. Now, what do you do in your spare time? If you have any.
I haven't got any really, but when I do get some time off, I always go home and see my folks, and I ride a motorcycle and do different things.
You have a favorite sport too, haven't you? Water skiing?
Yeah, I do a little water skiing, and I like football, and I like boxing.
Teenagers have inquired about your forthcoming movie career too. Now maybe that's a little too early to talk about, but I see you're signed by Hal Wallace and Company out of Paramount.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about the first movie that will be made?
Well, I couldn't tell you the name of it because I don't know. They're writing me a play. I was offered a part in The Rainmaker.
I see. Quite a dramatic bit, isn't it?
Well, it was, but it wasn't the character in it. I didn't feel I could do it the way that it should be done.
I see. Well, you're certainly in the position to pick the role that you want right now, I'll say that. Where do you go from here, Elvis?
I play Memphis tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night.
Oh, that's a lot of traveling there. About 700 miles or so. You're going to
705. I'm going to fly.
Well, let's see. The fans have asked me so many questions here. Do you have any particular experience that sticks in your mind, something that has happened during your 2-year career? Anything that you'd like to tell us about?
Wow, there's so many things that have happened that I can't think of any particular.
How about the Las Vegas incident? You were down there just about 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
A completely different type of audience, I understand.
Well, it was strictly an adult audience and mostly elderly people.
Did it take a little while to warm them up to your style of singing? Or?
It took, the first night, especially, I was absolutely scared still.
But from reading some of the reviews, I understand they responded quite well, though.
Well, afterwards, I got a little more relaxed, and I did. I worked a little harder, and finally got them on my side a little bit.
You sang this Only You tonight. Do you have any plans of recording that for our?
No, I've been doing it ever since it's been out.
I see. Your new release, I understand, has sold over 300,000 copies for RCA, and they had that many orders before it was released. So this would be another second million for you.
The last account I had, it had reached 500,000.
It's really fabulous.
I don't know how many it will sell.
Another thing that the teenagers are interested in is future television appearances. I understand you're going to be on the Milton Berle Show?
Yes, the Milton Berle Show, the 5th of June. After that, I don't know where I'm going.
Well, we certainly don't want to keep you on this because I know you have a lot of things to do, and the next show will be coming up very, very shortly. I want to thank you very much for talking with us.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks a lot for playing my records.
You betcha.
And I'll keep trying to give you something to play.
The ones that you've had out so far have been terrific. They've all been great sellers out at Lighthouse. You know, this album of Blue Suede Shoes, we sold that like a single. We sold more of that than we averagely sell a single, and that's what amazed us down there. You're about the first guy to have ever done that for RCA, I'm sure of that.
Well, I don't know. I hate to say yeah or something to brag.
Well, thank you very much, Elvis Presley. It's been great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
During Elvis's show, the paper reported teens leaping over the balcony railings like a herd of buffalo thundering over a rim of the canyon. It sounded like 40,000 people sat on tacks at the same time. Adding that it's not Elvis's voice that sends audiences into hysterical frenzy, it's the way he moves when he sings. He appears very much like a man who has swallowed a jackhammer. When it was all over, Elvis made a dash for the back of the stage. That night, outside of Elvis's hotel, hordes of teens blocked traffic in front of the hotel, hoping for a glimpse of Elvis. Police tried in vain to disperse the crowd, but no way. The crowd wouldn't leave until finally Elvis stuck his leg out the window and wiggled it madly. This satisfied all but 2 girls who managed to climb the fire escape and make it to Elvis's room. The teenagers sobbed and insisted that Elvis autograph their breasts. Elvis told them they would have to leave and ushered them to the door. After boasting at school the next day, some teachers found their hero's autograph on their stomach and thigh. 2 days later, a letter is sent from the Lacrosse Register to the head of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, suggesting that Elvis's performances were a threat to U.S. security, writing how Elvis's actions raised sexual tensions in the youth of America. describing his performances as sexual gratification on stage or a striptease with clothes on.
Wow.
Referencing the 2 high school girls that snuck into Elvis's room, the writer indicated that Elvis did more harm in lacrosse than good, saying that these adolescents are easily aroused to sexual indulgence and perversions of certain types of motions and hysteria, the kind caused at a Presley show. The writer also wrote, from eyewitness reports, I would judge that he may possibly be both a drug addict and a sexual pervert. In any case, I'm sure he bears close watch. Despite the numerous accusations, the FBI's response was that it just did not have jurisdiction in the matter raised by the Lacrosse writer. The following day, Elvis was off to Memphis to perform at Ellis Auditorium. There you have it, guys. How about that? Hope you enjoyed that. I just love all these early news reports and newspaper articles of when rock and roll was brand new, and so was Elvis, in a way. He was just becoming known all over the world, and they thought of him as a threat to the youth of America, as well as the rest of America. They weren't far off, huh, guys? Hope you enjoyed that episode. Like I said earlier, this year we're going to be looking at a lot of 1956. Some great things going on there. Keep sharing, liking, subscribing. Don't forget, got over 100 videos. Go back and watch them when you're bored as well. And as always, guys, keep rocking.